everybody, it's Kayla from Burlington Green. As part of Burlington Green's Grow to Give program, we wanted to highlight some cool opportunities that you can take to ensure that you're utilizing all the goodies in your garden. A lot of us might find like we have a heck of a lot of tomatoes on our hands and maybe unsure what to do with them. Making and jarring your own pasta sauce is a great way to utilize those tomatoes. Making your own pasta sauce not only saves you money, but you also save on waste. Ensure you're making food that's healthy and organic and something fun that the whole family can participate in. I teamed up with my partner and his family to learn the ins and outs of making your own homemade pasta sauce. I've compiled the tips in the video you're about to watch. Buon appetito!
First things first, the type of tomato is kind of a big deal. There are so many different varieties of tomatoes, and while all delicious, and technically all could be made into sauce, the most recommended variety is Roma. If you want to just make a handful of jars, you can usually make use of what you have growing in your garden. You can also order bushels of tomatoes from local farmers or grocery stores. Next, we wash the tomatoes. This is an easy part and an opportunity to get little ones involved with. After all the tomatoes have been washed, it's time to slice. Since these tomatoes will eventually get cooked down and pressed, we just need to slice them into 4 wedges. We also give each one a little sniff to ensure it is not too acidic. If a tomato smells of vinegar, that's a sign that it has gone bad and must be discarded as to not ruin the whole batch of sauce. We then put the tomatoes in a huge pot and simmer until they are tender and cooked down. Now don't worry if you don't have an enormous pot like the Vitaterna family here. Your stove and a large pot will do the trick just fine. Then it is time to strain the tomatoes. You can use a container with holes or spaces in it that will allow the juice to strain out, and cover with a tablecloth or towel to ensure you aren't losing any tomatoes. While the tomatoes are simmering and straining, you can start to pick your basil. Place the basil in the bottom of the jars. 3 to 4 leaves is just enough to add a nice hint of flavor, and if you really like basil, you can always add more when you cook the sauce. Once the tomatoes are strained, it is time to press. If you don't have a tomato press, you can always use a blender, but this press definitely makes the process a lot faster and more productive. This tomato press was an economical and eco-responsible decision for the Vitaternas, as they share it with 3 other families. Notice all that tomato pulp coming from the end of the press? That's the skins and seeds, but there could be some more hidden juice among the pulp. So we put it through the press a second time. Add some remaining juice from the pot so it goes down easier. Doing this can get us an extra 3 jars of sauce. With the leftover pulp, some people dehydrate it to make tomato powder. Just before we jar the sauce, we want to make sure that we salt it. About half a tablespoon is needed for each jar. Now to add the sauce. This part is easy enough. Just be careful as the tomatoes might still be a little warm. This is another fun part where the little ones can help. Just be sure to have adult supervision and a firm grasp on that jar. Once the sauce is filled, we put the lid on and tighten it up. We want to ensure these lids are on super tight and help to seal in this saucy goodness. After all the jars have been filled up, give a quick little wipe down before we get on to the next step. The final step is to boil the jars in water to completely seal the jars. This huge pot fits about 45 jars, but again, this can be done on the stovetop with a deep pot. Let the pot come to a boil, about 20 minutes or so depending on the size, and then you're nearly done. Safely remove from the water, let the jars sit until cool, and that's it.
Thanks so much everybody for watching. To learn more about our Grow to Give program and how you can help, be sure to check out the website linked below. Special thank you to the Vitaterna family for teaching us all how to make homemade pasta sauce. Grazie, ciao!